Hello, welcome to this video on the use of Audacity. Audacity is a free audio editor that you can download directly on internet. We use this software to work on the mother's voice once you have recorded it with the Tascam, and that you have transferred the files on your desktop. So here you can see I have different files of mother's voice. So we're going to see how to use Audacity now. So we open Audacity, and the first thing to do is to import a mother's voice file into the software. So to do that, we do File, Import, Audio. So File, Import, Audio. Now we're going to, on our desktop, look for a recording of mother's voice. So we can select this one, for example, and open it. You get this page. You don't have to do anything. Just do OK. And here we have the mother's voice, the recording. When we do a recording of mother's voice, the first thing to do when we work on it is to cut the beginning of the recording. Remember, the beginning of the recording is the time when you start the recording. You are still in the room with the mother's voice. You're going to go out. So there's going to be noise of the door closing, your footstep, etc. So we're going to cut out this part of the recording. So we're going to select. So we click and select all the way. And we're going to use the scissors, which are here. If you can see in this area, I'm going to select the scissors to cut off the beginning of the recording. And I'm going to do the same with the end of the recording. So I click, select, and do the same. I cut, because at the end of the recording is the time when we come into the room to stop the recording. So we have to cut also the end of the recording. Of course, before you cut the beginning and the end, you have to listen to the recording to know in which part you have to cut, up to what part you have to cut. I've done it before, so that's why I'm cutting like that. Okay, once you have cut the end and the beginning of the recording, we're gonna select here, select all. So I'm gonna select all. You see it gets all darker gray, all the recording, and now I'm gonna work on it. So I'm gonna go into Effect, and I'm gonna go to Normalize. So I select Effect and then Normalize, and I click on Normalize. On this page you don't change anything, you just do OK. So we don't change anything, we don't select or unselect anything, just OK. So you see the recording was modified. Then we're gonna go again on Effect, and we're gonna select Equalization. So again, Effect, Equalization. I select it, and we get on this page. So I'm gonna flatten everything so I can show you what we're gonna do. Here we're gonna, if you see the blue arrows down here, if you select one, you have the frequency that appears, so 8,000. So I'm gonna increase this frequency up to 12 decibels. So you see I increase the energy. I'm gonna do the same for 10,000 hertz. So I'm gonna select it, increase it to 12 decibels, and the next one 12,500, the same 12 decibels. So we are increasing the energy on 8,000, 10,000, and 12,500 hertz. Because remember, when we use the recording of the mother's voice, we're going to put a filter at 8,000. So we want to increase, give more energy to this frequency. Once you've done this, you just have to do OK. So we have equalized. Now we're going to do something to listen to the recording as if it was on the TalksUp, using it as a mother's voice. So for that, we're going to do Effect and High Pass Filter. So I select High Pass Filter. Here mine is already set, but yours is probably showing 1000 and it's probably showing 6 decibels. So what you're gonna do, yours is probably showing this, you're gonna change here 8000 and here the slope, we're gonna put it on 36 decibels. So that's what it should show, 8036 decibels, because that's how we're gonna use it on our TalksUp at 8000 with a slope of 36 decibels. So when you have selected that, you do OK. It's gonna take a little time to do it. So this is gonna give us the possibility to listen to the mother's voice as it will be on the TalksUp, to see if it has enough energy. So you see the mother's voice changes. Now we're gonna listen to it. So you see it has quite good energy, gets to the yellow, sometimes a little bit red, that's okay. Not too often, it shouldn't be in the red too much, if not there's going to be a saturation. So the quality looks quite good, so we're going to be able to use it with our TalksUp. So we can stop. And now something very important. Remember, we just put a filter, high-pass filter to a mother's voice. We have to take it away because we're going to filter it on the TalksUp with the program manager. So we have to erase the filter what we just put on it. And for that, we're going to use the back arrow. Okay, so here I'm going to click on the undo arrow, and you see my mother's voice comes back to normal. If I listen to it, it's not going to be filtered.
J'avais à peine de l'eau à boire pour 8 jours.
So that's how we want to have it with no filter. So that's very important. Don't forget to undo just the last treatment we did with the high pass filter. The normalization and equalization, we keep it, we just erase the high pass filter. So now our mother's voice is ready. So we're gonna export it. We're gonna file export, and we're gonna export as WAV, W-A-V. This is very important. So the TalksUp can be used on the TalksUp with the program manager. So I click on export as WAV, and here we're gonna put the name of the mother's voice. To do that, you have the first letter has to be a capital X. This is very important. If you don't put a capital X, the TalksUp won't recognize your recording. And then you have the possibility to use 7 letters in capital. So let's do like this. I put this name. So X Dubois dot wave. And I do save. So you have the possibility here. I use 6 letters. I have the right to have one more if I like, but always start with an X. X and then 7 capital letters, and then you save it. Yes. Okay, here you have this page where you can again write the name of the mother's voice. Okay, if you want, there's no obligation, you can do it or not. It doesn't change anything. Then you do OK, and now I'm finished with the use of Audacity. I just can turn it on. Save the project? No, because I have it on my desktop. I don't need to save it. Well, you can do as you wish. You can save it if you like, but personally I don't save them on Audacity. And you see I have my mother's voice that is right here. So now the only thing left to do is to transfer your mother's voice on a micro SD card that you will then put on your TalksUp. So that is a little bit the same way that you transfer the mother's voice on your computer. You can use an external card that you put in the computer and transfer. So that's it for this recording on the use of Audacity to prepare the mother's voice to be used on the TalksUp. Thank you.